My dear friends, have I got a fun Star Wars news update lined up for you today? We're going to begin with the Acolyte, but that's not our main topic. But just a quick segment to get things going. Leslye Headland promises this show is going to give a nod to every era of Star Wars, whether you're a prequels fan, an original trilogy fan, a sequel fan. Despite fan skepticism, Leslye Headland promises to respect George Lucas and to make the show essentially a love letter to the galaxy far, far away. She says, quote, "It's a show packed with everything I wanted to explore. I wanted expanded universe stuff, references to the OT, the Phantom Menace, the sequels. It's absolutely packed, because you never know, you might not get the chance again. I understand excitement for this show isn't too high at the moment, but my wish, if she's including elements of episode 1, would be Gungans. We haven't seen those in live action in such a long time. But anyway, my dear friends, we're going to be talking about something concerning Tales of the Empire. Do you guys remember in the Ahsoka show, Marrok, the Inquisitor, often considered one of the biggest letdowns, not because the character was poor, but because of fan expectations that he was going to be someone important, maybe even someone we knew. But it seems like Star Wars is not done with him just yet. And in this video, I'm going to be elaborating on his importance in an upcoming very anticipated Star Wars animated show. And then I want to share with you a theory for how his story interconnects with one of the most dangerous, and I would say forgotten Inquisitors. You don't want to miss it, and Dathomir is at the heart of that theory. But first things first, let's get up to speed. He was a revived Inquisitor who died probably a second time at the hands of Ahsoka Tano herself. And that was the end of it. She sliced his midriff, and his body was revealed to be composed of Night Sister magic, implying he had been reanimated by Morgan Elsbeth. But Lucasfilm is about to flesh out his past. They're going back, and we might finally get an explanation concerning his backstory and former life. Among other Inquisitors, he is going to appear in the Barisofi portion of the upcoming Tales of the Empire anthology series, and probably has some crossover with the Morgan Elsbeth portion too, considering she is the one who later reanimates him. In the trailer, as Barisofi is initiated into the Inquisitorius, we see all of them bow down to Lord Vader, their master. And although Marrok is not going to be the focus of this show, the fact he was once a member of this group makes the story before his death very interesting. His relationship to the other known Inquisitors means we get to see him during a time where this organization of former Jedi were hunting down survivors of Order 66. And during that time, Marrok had probably heard of Ahsoka, considering she was a target one of his colleagues was sent to kill, although that Inquisitor would soon meet his fate. Marrok emerged as one of the 4 antagonistic Force wielders introduced in Ahsoka Season 1, and instantly fans were captivated by his oddity, but also his mysterious, unknown nature. And so now that Tales of the Empire has confirmed he's going to be returning in some capacity, fans of the character and the Ahsoka show might be getting some satisfaction after seeing the Inquisitor's disappointing demise decades down the road. And it appears as though we might get the context for why he became an Inquisitor in the first place. Is his story as tragic as the others? And could we see someone like Reva in the show? The choice the Inquisitors had to make, as former Jedi who survived the Great Jedi Purge, was join the Inquisitorius, serve the Empire and Lord Vader, or die. And the reason I mention Reva is because the way she joined the Inquisitorius, and her overall demeanour and motives, were different to the rest. She was out for revenge. Her plan was to infiltrate the Inquisitorius, join the Empire, become close to Vader, and then betray him to get revenge for killing fellow Jedi younglings during Order 66. And so, in the same way they're going to give a more fleshed out backstory to the likes of Marrok, could they do the same to the third sister? She's not the only Inquisitor from the Kenobi show who appears in Tales of the Empire. The fourth sister and the Grand Inquisitor are there too. Could the seeds of the characterization we see in the Kenobi show be planted in animated form in this show, in Tales of the Empire? Could Barisofi be someone out for revenge over Vader when she learns that he was Anakin? And does she learn this? The last time Anakin saw Barriss, they fought. She had already turned to the dark side by then, and so now the fact Anakin turned too could make for a very interesting dynamic. There is no doubt Vader recognizes her in that scene and feels her presence. And returning to Marrok, incidentally in Tales of the Empire we also delve into Morgan Elsbeth, her journey into the Empire and her connection with Thrawn, years before the events of Ahsoka. This narrative might shed light on Marrok's first death, and subsequent revival by Elsbeth. There must have been a reason she chose him. He must have been a very effective mercenary in the first place. Alternatively, his resurrection could have been just a matter of convenience, when Marrok being available when Elsbeth just needed a loyal servant. But let me for a minute just throw you a curveball, my dear friends. Some are convinced that Marrok's role could connect him to another mysterious Inquisitor introduced back in 2017, one from Dathomir, which itself is a massive point of connection for both stories in the upcoming animated show. I'm talking about Jerserra, an Inquisitor hailing from Dathomir, introduced in the Star Wars roleplay game Force and Destiny. Similar to Marrok, Jerserra's history and background remain shrouded in mystery, with only a handful of details known about her turning against her Inquisitor mentor and fleeing the Night Sister world to pursue a mercenary path. Both Marrok and Jerserra defy the typical naming conventions of the Inquisitorius. They use their real names, kinda similar to Reva, and their ties to Dathomir, as I say, offers a tantalizing link. Tales of the Empire could seize this opportunity and intertwine their stories. Maybe Marrok and Jerserra were friends. Maybe they were allies and worked together before the latter's rebellion. Or perhaps Marrok was sent to track her down, only to meet his fate at Jerserra's hands. And this could explain how Morgan Elsbeth stumbled into Marrok's body, because she was on Dathomir at the time too, and then she chose to resurrect him. Much of the direction of Tales of the Empire is unknown, but we're literally just a week and a half away, so we'll soon find out. And the Marrok situation reminds fans of what's going on with Clone CX2, the Cody theories, the tech theories, the crosshair theories. While I'm hoping for resolve by the end of the season, we might never find out. It could be another Marrok situation, but at least with the Ahsoka character, we get more of him very soon. And on top of this, StarWars.com have confirmed they're making an Inquisitor run of comics. They begin by quoting the Grand Inquisitor in Kenobi's first episode. This is the attitude employed by the Inquisitors, which we're going to see firsthand. The Jedi cannot help who they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. A new miniseries kicking off July 3rd from writer Rodney Barnes. Star Wars Inquisitors follows the Empire's Jedi Hunters as they narrow down on a new target. Tensu Run, a survivor of Order 66, looking to spread hope and rebuild the Jedi Order. He has won the attention of Darth Vader himself, who is determined to have Tensu killed at any cost. And the most exciting thing about this run of comics is it's going to give us Inquisitors from across various media. Those from Jedi Fallen Order, Kenobi, Rebels, Tales of the Jedi. This could be exciting. And so finally, my dear friends, in other Star Wars news, the creators of the video game Star Wars Outlaws have confirmed the one movie that inspired it the most was Solo: A Star Wars Story. And while the video game is focusing on K-Vess, it's apparently the next best thing to a spiritual successor of the 2018 movie. And during this time, Han Solo is being transported from Bespin to Jabba's palace in Carbonite. And they mention how K-Vess herself is inspired by Han Solo in the original trilogy. A scoundrel, ambitious, daring, willing to take risks, a wanted person who has heart. There might even be connections between Star Wars Outlaws and the upcoming Donald Glover LANDO movie. They might decide to put K-Vess in it. But that said, my dear friends, that is the latest in the world of Star Wars updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.